Hi, and welcome back to Mentally Yours, a podcast presented by Mehfooz by Simran, co-presented by Edutathon. And today we have Dr. Niyati Chitkara with us, an award-winning educationist, a visionary leader, and the driving force behind Chitkara International School. She has been transforming the lives for over 16 years now. And she is not just building a school, she is inspiring minds and redefining what learning looks like for Gen Alpha and Gen Beta learners. She'll be taking us on a journey beyond academics today. So please welcome Dr. Niyati Chitkara. So, how are you doing today, ma'am?
Very well, Simran. Thank you so much. I'm very excited and nervous too.
Please, ma'am, please. You're just being really humble.
No, not at all. I'm looking forward to the kind of questions that you're going to be asking me, and I hope I'm able to do some justice to that.
Of course. And before we start, I really want to appreciate the look. I mean,
Thank you.
this is such a goddess look, I would say.
Oh God.
I mean, you relate to it, like with the jewelry and the, I think, मुझे ऐसा लगता है, very off the topic, but अगर, if, a rekha, resonating look, and if we were to put in, like, if Shah Rukh Khan was a female, like very king-like and extravagant that way.
I love you. What a compliment. See, my day is done. I don't know you guys. It's okay. I've got what I wanted. But thank you so much.
I mean, the kind of aura you have with the look, I was honestly really intimidated.
Thank
but
you.
then I really want to tell everybody that when I entered the room, she was like working and she was okay. But then when I talked to her, she was, how the generation these days do. So generous.
First of all, with the dressing part, the credit goes to my mentor, Dr. Madhu Chitkara, who's my mother-in-law, who's my boss, with whom I work, and is also somebody who styles me very well. So all the saris that I get is from her. And secondly, we live in a beautiful country with so many cultures, so many
Actually.
colors, and it keeps your psychology, there. And every day coming up, dressing, children coming and telling, oh, this is a yellow color, oh, this is a blue color. You feel great. You feel top, at the top of the world. And you also kind of endorse your country and the culture, So I make an effort that ways. But I've also done a diploma in cosmetology. And at some point of time in my life, I wanted to, beautify people. That was my passion. And eventually, over a period of time, I've evolved to a level where I want to and I wish to beautify education, beautify the life of little learners, the young ones, the Gen Zs and the alphas and, the newborn betas and, so on and so forth. But that's my passion. So
I think I really like. I was complimenting you on the fact that the interiors and the aesthetic of the schools are very, welcoming, and how children these days, are used to a lot of stimulation. This gives, a lot of things to observe and, absorb at the same time. So you were saying that, you didn't want the school to be a typical school. And I can relate to that line when you said, you wanted to beautify education also in terms of, quality as well as, how it looks.
Yeah, learning spaces do a lot to a learner.
Definitely.
And the more learning spaces are child friendly, more they are conducive to learning. Easier is the job of all the educators and teachers, because you can use a lot of teaching aids then, and learning coupled with environment creates that kind of magic which is everlasting.
Actually.
And I always understand that a good school is a school where students do not want to go home. They even want to come on Sundays. For them, holidays is like, oh God, too long a holiday or something. So that's ideally a real benchmark to know if they love their school and if they love the education. So that's what I understand out of it, simply.
Amazing. And I could see this logo everywhere. Like I've been to Chitkara University और मुझे पता है वहाँ पे this is of red color, I suppose, right?
Yes.
And this is green. So usually schools में I've seen the books,
Yeah.
they're carrying this fire.
Torch,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
So this is very different. इसका क्या मतलब है? क्या signify करता है ये?
So, actually, this has first of all been designed by our Vice President, Mr. Mohit Chitkara. Extremely creative. He's a visionary, and it has got a very beautiful meaning. So, if you see this logo, it has different arrows moving in the upright direction.
Oh yes.
So the central part, we have children here, the students. They are the core and they are the main stakeholders of our system. And then eventually you have the parents, the faculty, the community, the industry, all moving towards upward direction with the right value system. So they're not moving towards the left side, but they're moving towards the right side. So always doing the right things. And green color again is the color of prosperity.
Prosperity, yes.
So green is there, environment, sustainability. And the story about this logo, particularly the emblem, is that, when we started working on the school, we started the school in 2004 in a temporary shed with just 7 students and with a young team who had no idea how schools were run. So we were all young, very young, and we were not given this logo earlier. So we had a different logo because our management thought that, they must evolve and learn first and stuff. And we started studying schools education, different formats, different models available. We got the first logo, and then over a period of time, once we grew further, we got another logo that was very colorful. And I think this was in 2014 when they thought that we've come up to a level where maybe we could be positioned with Chitkara University. They gave this logo to us. So I don't know about Chitkara University fraternity, but for school education, it's a matter of when you earn something, and that kind of pride where you are wanting to get this,
Absolutely.
and you were not getting it. So, finally when you get it, you breathe and you say, hello, I've earned it. So this is what, it means to all our members working for school and, have gone through this journey together as a team. So it is like everything to us. So hence you'll find it everywhere, and you'll find the same excitement with which people will explain you the meaning and the ethos of the logo. But the idea is growth.
I didn't realize that it had so much of depth. Beautiful. I really like it. And you were telling it that you started the journey when things were not like this. You started from scratch, I would say.
Yes, absolutely.
So how did the journey look like from you starting from there and now here? And I'm sure you have worked hard to sit in the office and feel like I have come a long way. How was the journey like?
I have something very interesting to share here. That when I started my journey, I was the youngest principal of the town. I was just 25 years of age.
Way.
And I had no mannerisms of the principals. I had broken all the stereotypical behaviors and perspectives probably. I was studying at that time, doing my master's, PhD, giving entrance examinations. I studied from Punjab University, and I've been a gold medalist. So I've been a student. So my mannerisms were always more student-like than so whatever I've learned and absorbed, I have absorbed from the fraternity, the leaders that I've been with. What great, lovely schools we have, in Chandigarh and Tri-City. Fantastic leaders. Chandigarh has been ranked #1 in the country for
Yes.
education. So I learned from the best, and also, but still, I am what I am, and I've always tried to maintain my own character. So that journey of evolution was so interesting, full of excitement, but yet I was very scared. I was nervous. I never knew a lot of things. I had, of course, the best teachers to teach me and guide me, but I learned from mistakes that I committed, and that was the best part. But I made sure that I'm not going to repeat those mistakes. So that helped me a lot, and that is probably what you call an evolution. And I'm still
Absolutely.
learning. But the unique character was being like a student. Giving exams, getting those fears of failing or not performing, and fear that, oh God, she's the principal of the school. How can she get less marks, in MEd or PhD?
Oh,
Those fears were
obviously,
there.
yes.
And doing my best, and all those things. So,
Multitasking.
yeah, so it was fun, but there was a lot of responsibility, and but yet there was a lot of support also. I've got the best team members who supported, the best mentors who were here, even a lot of other schools who supported and helped me, because I was very, very young, and I used to ask them questions, and they'd always be very, very ready and tell me the answers. So I think that's what my evolution has been. Yeah.
Amazing. I mean, this is really inspiring, and I really appreciate the way that you accepted that I've committed mistakes. It's, difficult for a lot of...
Who doesn't?
Absolutely. I mean, everybody does, but people don't feel vulnerable enough at times to, accept that they have done this, especially being at a certain position, I would say.
Simran, one big learning that I truly advocate and I follow is, learning happens when you're very uncomfortable. Wherever you have comfort, learning doesn't happen. And if learning happens in a lot of comfort, then that's not permanent. So if you want something to be permanent, then there has to be discomfort. Unless there's discomfort around, you'll never think of problem solving. You will never think of
Absolutely.
looking for answers. So I think somewhere making mistakes also helps you to evolve and become a better version of yourself. So it is very important. But mistakes also have a framework, and I always tell my children, if you want to make mistakes or if you want to make decisions in life, there is a format called SPY. So SPY means if you're not able to decide something in life, there are three things, or the criteria, or probably the rubrics that you can evaluate your decision on. Number one is whether this decision will add a name to my school and school's reputation. Number two, P, whether this decision will add a name to my family and my parents,
Okay.
and my vicinity around. And number three is individual.
Yourself.
Whether this decision will add to my profile or spoil my profile. So spy. You have to keep spying yourself in the sense, rather than spying others and rather than checking other person's data or phone or stuff, and focusing on them, you should rather be focusing on yourself and keep spying and checking. And this SPI framework will never let you commit big mistakes or blunders in life.
Absolutely.
And your decisions will be very, very positive, and it will be something which society and the world will validate. You will get appreciation. So I always tell my students, जब भी कुछ कर रहे हो, स्पाई को ध्यान में रखो, दिमाग में गलतियां नहीं होंगी, होंगी तो उनसे सीखो, and then move on, and don't commit the same mistakes then.
I think you are a principal at heart, because स्कूल में कैसे होता है ना, हम बच्चों को एब्रिविएशंस और सीबीएसई हमें रूब्रिक्स सिखाता है, और आपने लाइफ का भी एकदम एब्रिविएशन और रूब्रिक्स बना दिया है कि ये करना है.
बच्चों को ना ढांचों की बहुत जरूरत है.
Absolutely.
So I always believe you give freedom to the students, but give a boundary between. So within those boundary lines, you give them freedom, and they will love it. They will
Absolutely,
love
yeah.
it. Otherwise, they will just keep meandering here and there, and they will not have, a safe environment to kind of, discipline themselves. So self-discipline can only come when you give them boundaries, and within those boundaries, you let them be
This
free.
makes
And
so much of sense. So much of sense. I mean, very rightly said. As a psychologist, also, I totally resonate with what you are saying. And I want to say something very off the track. I had so many questions in mind, but you are such an interesting person that I have a list now.
I'm very sorry for that.
No, I mean, it's a good thing. I think we need a part 2 of this as well.
Okay, wonderful.
So you were saying that you have been breaking stereotypes in terms of basic education system and trying new possibilities.
Right.
Would you like to share how you are doing here at Chitkara International School?
Yes, we have an art, and when I'm talking about we, it's me primarily with my entire team and my leadership, my mentors. We've always questioned and re-questioned all our systems. You have to keep doubting your systems, rechecking, re-auditing, re-monitoring is very, very important. Why? Because the world is changing every second. If you keep
Absolutely.
thinking, okay, hello, I built this and I'm very great and I've done the best and now I need to relax and something, then you're over, then you're done. And within seconds, the world would kind of, wipe you wash away or something. So that's where I feel it is very important to re-challenge, re-question, and that is what we do. So first question I remember was, why to build a classroom? Why to build a structured classroom? Why don't you create a classroom on employability? Why don't you have a classroom on agriculture? Why don't you have a classroom on fashion? Why don't you have a classroom on sports management? How about a classroom on stock markets? So if you see our school, you wouldn't find traditional classrooms. Why wouldn't we have a library inside a classroom? Why would you have to go to another room to read a book? Shouldn't those books be matching to the topics that are going on?
Absolutely.
And then so if you visit our classrooms, you'll find a lot of things that we've challenged and re-challenged.
Unconventional.
Yes, because the generation has changed. We talk about alpha and beta, and our classrooms evolution have been just the same.
Thank you for saying this.
So then that's not fun, right? So this generation is super cool, and they need cool education, and they need cool classes. They
And
need
cooler
cool
principals.
Absolutely, I totally agree. Cooler the principal, better the connect. They'll have friendships, they'll have bond. Students will not be afraid of coming to them, asking questions. We've been always scared. Like I'm very thankful to my school for whatever I am today. But during our time, school education all over the world used to be very structured, and it used to be one-sided.
Yes.
Student voice was never heard, and we never had any clubs, and we never had any formats or platforms where students could kind of be part of the policy making and stuff. So that's where I feel there has been a shift, and this generation wants all that.
Absolutely.
They look up to cool teachers, and they look up to cool leaders, and then they forget everything else. So, and that was what one can really create an impression from this, and they are at an impressionable age where I think if somebody is able to create that rapport, then eventually you can tell them to do anything, and they will do everything for you. And that has been our story in the school. We are very, very friendly with our students, but there's a boundary.
Absolutely.
Freedom.
Yes.
So that's
This makes so much sense. I think, whenever somebody comes to the school, it's more like, आपका अंदर का बच्चा जाके then go like, मैं क्यों नहीं पढ़ती थी school में? I wish my school was like that. So, how you exactly said. And, what I believe is teachers these days still tend up to, complain a lot about कि बच्चे वैसे नहीं रहे. I think it's high time that you accept बच्चे वैसे नहीं रहे हैं and you also try to, change or maybe, modify your teaching methods accordingly, as you very rightly said. So you talk a lot about mental health also and counseling education. So in a school like this, which is very forward, very modern, but you also have to make sure CBSE curriculum is there, the education is proper. The children are overstimulated, but we have to keep a balance between education and, maintaining their mental health with the overstimulation that is from the outside world. How do you manage all of this?
You know what? We first of all, it is very important to kind of know who we are. I've always believed that there are three perspectives again, which one should kind of focus on, and that I focus on every time. There are three parts of our evolution, or intelligence, or our, the entire learning structure, with which we move on throughout our lives at different stages, starting from childhood, and then you go to the adulthood, and then you go to the old age and stuff. So, first is IQ, another is EQ, and then third is SQ. IQ is cognitive, dimag wala. EQ is emotional, dil wala, and SQ is skill wala. So ये तीनों का जो संतुलन है, that balance is very important for everybody. So मैं जब भी कोई काम करती हूँ, मैं उसको introspect ज़रूर करती हूँ कि whether I've maintained that balance or not. ज़्यादा बुद्धि, ज़्यादा emotional होना, ज़्यादा skillful होना, सब imbalances हैं, right? And they are not success. So it is first of all very important to understand what success is. And once you do that, you'll be much calmer, you'll be much at peace. And then the same system is expected from teachers.
Absolutely.
वो जो balance है, वो teachers को भी अपने अंदर डालना ज़रूरी है, and counselors को भी. You can't have an imbalanced counselor.
Absolutely.
How is she going to give a therapy to a person who's already undergoing a turmoil, right? So ये balance डालना बहुत ज़रूरी है. ये स्थिरता success है. Success को जो लोग समझते हैं, उसको वो एक तरह का imbalance है, और उसको balance करने की success means top. So if you're moving on top of the ladder, नीचे से किसी को वो सीढ़ी पकड़नी भी ज़रूरी है, otherwise you'll fall. So that balance is something which your teachers and your parents provide. Keeps you grounded, it keeps you balanced. Now what if the parents are not balanced, and what if the teachers are not balanced, or what if the counselors are not balanced? What is going to happen to the child? Right? The success, even if it comes to anybody, will not be everlasting.
Absolutely.
And that's why people falter at young ages, samblini success, ye ho gaya, wo ho gaya, whatever. Right? So that's where I feel this balance needs to be always maintained. जब आप बहुत गुस्सा करो, ज़रूर introspect करो whether, oh my God, my EQ just went for a toss, I should have maintained my peace and calm. So it is important to keep self-introspecting and then strive to have that balance. Success will automatically come, and if it comes, then it will last forever. It'll be there to stay.
I think it makes so much sense, the balance between all of it,
Yes.
right? That's the
You
key.
have a lot of money and you have no time for family is not success.
Absolutely.
You have a lot of intelligence, but you don't treat people well with humility, it is not success, right? So balance is success.
I want to take a moment to absorb this. I mean, it's very important and crucial also for leaders to be empathetic.
Yeah.
And to be able to understand what is going on the ground level and how people must be feeling there.
Imbalanced teachers and imbalanced parents create imbalanced generations. So it's not the entire responsibility of, mothers at school.
Absolutely.
But whole lot of responsibility is on the shoulder of mothers and fathers at home, family at home, grandparents at home, friend circle. So it's very, very important.
Is there anything that you would like to highlight or share with other school leaders, parents, or children that the Chitkara International School is doing in terms of mental health or counseling for children?
So I would like to mention here, first of all, that Chitkara University has started this beautiful psychology school, running programs in for the bachelor's, masters, and PhDs in psychology and counseling. So we're producing a lot of counselors who will be school ready, fully trained. We ensure that we take a limited batch size. We work on them so that they become school ready. Now, just like teacher education, even counselor education has a lot of gaps.
Absolutely.
Right? I hardly find counselors doing internships in schools. We do have very supportive fraternity in the Tri-City region where schools help us. They're all partner schools who help us have the teachers doing internships. So is the counselor. But counselors should not be trained for an alien world. You would find counselors never visited any visually impaired school. They've never tried any therapies. They've never been to any labs. They've never done any diagnostic assessments, and they're suddenly thrown to the employment market, and they're all untrained, and schools have no time to train them.
Absolutely.
And then they do anything and everything, and they whatever comes to their mind. And that is not data driven. How many counselors are trained on AI? How many counselors are trained on data analytics? That's a very big question mark.
Very
The
rightly
world
said.
is changing, and AI once takes over, the only thing that's going to be a savior is the psychology and the counselor education. And it's high time we all of us join hands together and invest in this part, because it's and also empower school teachers, because how many counselors can we produce for the entire
Definitely.
country? And that is what NEP also talks
Yes.
about, empowering teacher and teacher education and counselor education, so that we have enough mentors available for the alpha and the beta generation learners. So this is my message to everybody out there, that mental health is something which we need to be very, very serious about. And one of the endeavor of Chitkara University that one of our team member proposed, and we're using it in school now. You have first aid kits, right?
Psychological first aid kits?
Yes, we have a mental first aid kit on
Wow.
every floor. So suddenly so what if a student gets an anxiety attack, right? And also there's a question that, are schools measuring anxiety of the students? Are we capable enough to deal with it in our classes? Are teachers fully trained on that? And are there counselors supporting teachers at every level, for the growth and development of the little ones? So, and children go through a lot.
Obviously.
Children go through, because society is undergoing a major shift. You have crisis at home, you have crisis in the society, sibling rivalry, there's a relationship up down with friends. A lot goes in the life of the learner. And if the mental levels are not stable, if there's an anxiety attack, how can you force a learner to do a mathematics test?
Absolutely.
So learning at schools need to be personalized. If you're not measuring, so if a batch size of 40 in one class, and you do not know the anxiety levels of all the 40 students, you're not giving a personalized education. एक बच्चा प्रेशर ले लेगा, दूसरा बच्चा प्रेशर नहीं ले लेगा, तो आप सबको एक ही टेस्ट थोड़ी ना परोसेंगे.
I love this.
You have to change assessments. किसी को ज़्यादा अच्छे राजमा स्पाइसी पसंद है, तो किसी को राजमा कम स्पाइसी पसंद है, तो एक ही राजमा थोड़ी ना परोस देंगे. तो there are ways out. So education needs to be very diagnostic, very personalized, and needs to be challenged and re-challenged every now and then. We can never perfect education. We should not even think of.
I'm really interested to know like what is there in the mental health kit.
A lot of things like, suddenly a child gets an anxiety attack. So, and let me tell you, it's my colleague's work, and we're trying to promote that work. She was one of the initial leaders, who started our psychology school, and now
Oh.
she's overseas. So it's her work primarily, and the credit goes to her. Her name is Dr. Komal. So it's her work primarily, but we're very thankful to her that she suggested, of course, with Chitkara University's support and my school team. We created these wonderful kits, and they're on every floor. And somebody gets an anxiety attack, you have the anxiety
Oh,
ball,
yes.
to
Yes,
keep the
yes.
child calmer and let the attack be fine, and the child totally become normal and at peace, and then eventually take things. Also, these are very, very important parameters, also for child safety.
Absolutely
So
right.
I think and that's her work primarily. So we are very thankful, but we try to follow it as much as is possible. And special educators and counselors in the school, they need to be fully trained. And we've also created beautiful concept of training of the interns following Vygotsky's socio-cultural
Yes.
theory. You would know that.
Yes, Vygotsky.
So
Of
different
course.
stages through which every counselor passes, and till the time the final independent state doesn't come, we don't let her deal with students or teachers or parents. So she has to earn, even if she has a degree, she has to earn the journey through different phases of working in a school, and then a fully trained counselor reaches Chitkara classrooms and the partner school classrooms. So untrained teachers and untrained counselors are a havoc to the society and
Absolutely.
spoiling future generations. So we should be very responsible.
This makes so much sense, and I could totally relate to the fact that because there are not enough counselors, if you measure the ratio to the number of children and the counselors, so schools need, and they're just taking them in, and of course quality is very important, very crucial. I have a question with what you said. अगर हम क्लासरूम की बात करें, आपने बोला कि हर बच्चे के लिए एक कस्टमाइज सिस्टम होना चाहिए, बिकॉज दैट्स हाउ their skills must be or their anxiety levels must be. अगर हम एक इसको अलग पर्सपेक्टिव से, इट्स अ वेरी एंटी साइकोलॉजी पर्सपेक्टिव, बिकॉज समथिंग दैट आई हैव हर्ड एंड आई वांट टू गेट दिस आंसर फ्रॉम यू, बिकॉज maybe I was not able to answer it rightly. So जैसे पहले लोग बोलते थे कि उनकी काफी rigorous training होती थी in this school. They were not given that much attention, and that's why they say we have ended up just fine. और अब क्योंकि बच्चों को हम बहुत पैम्पर कर रहे हैं, शायद इसीलिए they're not ready for the actual life after school.
ऐसा नहीं है, हमें लगता है क्योंकि हम उनको जज कर रहे हैं उन आँखों से. मैं आपको बताऊं, अगर दिस जनरेशन इज़ वेरी स्मार्ट, वेरी सॉर्टेड. हमारे टाइम पे सक्सेस होती थी क्रेजीली काम करना, 20 आवर्स, 24 आवर्स हैं तो 24 घंटे में से 26 घंटे भी शायद हम काम कर लें. कम सोना और ज़्यादा अर्न करना used to be the definition of success. This generation believes in work-life balance.
Yes.
Right? अब जो हमारी नज़र है वो उनसे मैच नहीं करे. उनको तो खेलना भी है, उनको अपना सोशल मीडिया भी देखना है. अच्छा, हम सोशल मीडिया देख रहे हैं तो ठीक है, लेकिन बच्चा सोशल मीडिया देख रहा है तो गलत है. So rather than blaming children or blaming technology कि यही खराब कर रही है, पहले टीवी को ब्लेम करते थे कि टीवी खराब कर रहा है, उससे पहले किसी और चीज को करते थे. Instead of putting blame on things, we should rather introspect how capable are we for them to deal with them. तो अगर एक बच्चे को डील करना है तो आपको पहले देखना है आपका संतुलन कैसा है. Are you a balanced person? Are you the right person to give them the advice? You could be a teacher, you could be a parent, but you might not be the best person to give advice to the student. So you have to keep introspecting yourself, धीरे धीरे you'll be able to know your strengths, and the child will also get adaptive to your strengths. जो आपकी strengths है वो उस time पे आपके पास आ जाएंगे, जो आपका area नहीं है they'll go to somebody else.
Absolutely.
Right? And that's how it should be. तो मुझे लगता है कि पहले तो definition थोड़ी change हो गई है. Society is going through a lot of shift. And definitely generation gap is becoming lesser and lesser. So we keep thinking कि ये खराब है generation. ये मुझे लगता है generation में इतना potential है. They give you fantastic ideas. They have great communication skills.
Yes.
They are very honest. They will not window dress. They will not be politically correct. In our times, we used to, maybe keep tolerating a lot of things, but this generation questions.
Yes.
And that's the beauty, because unless you question, unless you challenge or re-challenge, you'll never improve. So they're very honest. They're very honest in their relationships also, in their friendships also. So देखिए इनको वही बात है, बाउंड्री दीजिए and उसमें आज़ादी दीजिए. They will go with the flow. They love being going with the flow, but they don't mind the structure as long as that structure is not painful to them. So you should be wise enough to give the right kind of structure to them. और एक ये चीज़ मैं इस generation को भी बोलना चाहूँगी. We are the biggest, what do you say, when you introspect yourself, we make a biggest mistake. We think, oh, we know Google. We're able to find a lot of answers. We're able to find a lot of answers through AI and stuff. We know it all. But एक चीज़ मैं कहना चाहूँगी, that it is not possible. Because Google आपको information दे देगा, but wisdom comes from people, comes from elders. Please check how much of your daily time, I don't tell you not to check internet, balance it, but spend time with your elders, with your grandparents, with your relatives, with your family, every day at least 1 hour. And trust me, जो ये knowledge होगी ना, वो ना चैट जीपीटी के पास है, ना गूगल के पास है, ना किसी और टूल के पास है. And it will do wonders. The wisdom and intelligence are two different things. Google can add to cognitive levels of learning. It can add to your intelligence levels, but it can only add to wisdom when real life experiences get added. And वो आपको बड़े बुजुर्ग ही दे सकते हैं.
Absolutely.
So please make sure you spend time with them. Listen to their success stories, their failure stories. Learn from them. So that it guides you, not to make mistakes. Why two people in a family should make the same mistakes, right?
Exactly.
So if they've already done something wrong, though I don't wish that, but in case we all make mistakes, right? So why you have to repeat those, right? So you learn and you take the family name, the school name, your own name
Spy.
to the next level. Spy. Keep remembering that, and things will be very easy in life.
This was, again, I would like to use your word, full of wisdom.
Thank you. Well, I try to spend a lot of time with my seniors and my elders, and I have whatever I am today is because of them, because of my childhood real friends group, and my family. They are the biggest support system. They keep you grounded. They keep you humble. They do all the critical analysis, and then you realize, okay, it's not a big deal of what you've done. So I think, and your team with whom you work, they are family too. So it is very important to build that network, that safe network that keeps you grounded.
This was really amazing. And I think now that we're talking about breaking stereotypes and moving forward with society, I think Eduthon is doing something similar in terms of this. So is there anything that you always look forward to? Eduthon is coming. So are you excited about anything for this specific edition of Eduthon? Something that you always look forward to?
See, I would like to tell you that I've been associated with Eduthon from 1.0 days till 5.0 now. And let me tell you, first of all, this time specifically the podcast says, mentally yours, right?
Yes.
So mentally yours has a very beautiful word, yours, which means you're thinking about other person and
Yes.
other person's perspectives. This is what I like about Eduthon, because it's all about listening to all the educators' perspectives, a lot of takeaways, taking back home, brainstorming, thinking, rethinking, what you've been doing, whether, you're able to associate, change, alter, delete, whatsoever. But one thing which really excites me for Eduthon events is, of course, apart from the sumptuous food that you're served every time, the great hospitality, the good trophies that we go back home with, and lovely fraternity with whom you click pictures, hug, appreciate each other's achievement. Certain talks every time have this capability of again breaking stereotypes.
Absolutely.
The notions and the old age perspectives that dominate need to be changed every now and then, and every time you find some of the talks challenging and re-challenging and refreshing all the educators. So that's why I make sure that I don't miss this event anytime, and that's where I've been part of all the series, and I recommend everybody, all the educators, not to miss it, because it's going to definitely give a lot of food for thought, the way it has been enlightening us over all the series that have happened. So this is my special appreciation for Edu and the entire team.
Amazing, amazing. I think I have gotten so much information. I feel like I've been bombarded with a lot of thoughts to introspect,
Okay.
to apply, and to probably discuss with my children,
Thank
right?
you.
So I don't know why does it always have to end? This felt so natural.
I mean, I never thought there's an interview or podcast. I just kept talking to
I
you.
forgot that there was a camera for a while.
Totally.
This was so good, and I'm really hoping that we could do like a part 2 of this as well. Again, full of wisdom. I got to learn so many things. First of all, the spy thing. What I really appreciate is that you hold the team with you. Like every sentence you said, you were always like, we, my team. You never miss out on appreciating or acknowledging anybody who has done something for you. And the way the school is breaking the stereotypes moving forward, starting from classrooms to the medical kits, I think n number of things that are there that we can look forward to, that we can learn from. And what I love the most about ma'am is, again, like I said something similar in the beginning, that she has so much of experience. She has, I think, she is carrying so much of beauty.
Oh my God.
But within,
I'm flattered.
she's so grounded. And the way she talks about, her idols, the people she has learned from, she talks very highly of them. I think this is something that I will take away home, along with, of course, the spy thing. So this was really, I don't know, heartwarming almost. I hope it was the same for you.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know what? For teamwork, I'd like to close on a note that we're not loners in the world. Why are we not talking about teams, and why aren't we not acknowledging each other's efforts, and why aren't we not very appreciative? And I think today I'm very blessed to be in a community where everybody is appreciative of everybody. Because if you're not going to do this, then we're not going to be injecting all these positive traits to our young learners, and they'll be loners otherwise.
Absolutely.
And anyways, they're on social media. There is a possibility they might feel low anytime or lonely anytime. But if we create that environment otherwise also, then it's going to be a difficult situation for them. So we have to make sure that we always talk about teams at office, teams at home, teams with your friends, all teaming up, because it's the team that does wonders. No one person can ever do anything in the world. So
I think there couldn't have been a better closing statement than this. So there was a lot of learning for children, for parents, for teachers, for counselors also out there. So I'm sure this was really informative, full of wisdom for you as it was for me. So I'll see you in the next episode of Mentally Yours, presented by Mehfooz by Simran, co-presented by Edithon. Till then, take care of your mental health the way you take care of your physical health. Bye.